Last year, I wrote a column called "Shut Up, Lloyd Blankfein,"
I don't believe there's
urging the CEO of the Wall Street Investment Bank to stop talking because his charm offensive was doing more harm than good. Now I think a more appropriate headline should be "Pay Up, Lloyd Blankfein." Goldman Sachs needs to settle with the SEC sooner rather than later. The stock continues to tumble, hitting a new 52-week low. Investors are just very worried about the SEC fraud charges. There are lots of civil lawsuits against the company, and this is just something they really need to get in the rearview mirror and move on. What do you think, though, about Goldman Sachs? Unsurprisingly, most readers aren't fans of Lloyd or the Wall Street firm in general. Nick Kroc writes, GS and BP, referring to the ticker symbols for Goldman Sachs, and a certain oil company you may have heard of, are toxic. Go ahead and jump if you think they are cheap. BP will be bankrupt within 6 months, and GS is headed for $60, if not lower. If Goldman does go to 60, a lot of investors would be very, very annoyed about that, since at last check, Goldman was in the 130s. I don't know if Goldman will fall that low, but clearly the more that this drags on, it's hard to understand or expect Goldman to rally anytime soon. So again, another reason to try and get all the legal headaches behind it. Dennis Sika is hoping Goldman goes lower, though. Goldman sinking represents a failure of one of the heaviest hitters in the banking financial complex. We need this institution to fail. A complete banking restructure is needed at minimum. I am with him on the banking restructure. I don't know if rooting for Goldman to fail is necessarily the best thing that could happen for the economy. Obviously, when Lehman Brothers failed, in case you forgot, things got scary for a little while. So we don't need that again. But Dan Tanner agrees with some of his assessment, says Wall Street met its match in heaven, the will of American people. Financial reform bill should be at the president's desk in the next few weeks. Please lend your support to him. Obviously, there's a lot of questions about what will and won't be in the final financial reform bill. There are some people that aren't in love with the current versions in the House and Senate, but I think most people would agree that reform is needed. We do need to crack down on some of the more egregious trading mistakes and behaviors that the big banks like Goldman made leading up to and during the crisis. Anyone, I think, that is rational would agree with that. Finally, though, one brave soul is defending Goldman. Vincent Citarella writes, be careful what you wish for. GS is the world's largest market maker, amongst other things, and a necessary evil. It's obvious that they have abused their position, but their demise would severely diminish America's financial position on the world stage, let alone what it would do to our portfolios. Like them or not, they're here to stay. That's kind of what I was pointing out to the reader who wanted them to fail. We do need Goldman. I know it's an unpopular thing to say, but yes, Goldman Sachs is needed for a healthy financial market, and that means a healthy U.S. economy as well, even though Goldman may not seem like it's vital to the U.S. economic machine. It kind of is.